Did you know that right now, this very second, your brain is humming with electricity? It's true. It's this constant, incredibly complex symphony of electrical signals that's behind every single thought, every feeling, every single thing you do. It's literally the sound of you thinking.
But that brings up a really fascinating question, right? I mean, this symphony is playing all the time, but it's totally silent. So how in the world can we possibly eavesdrop on the brain's secret electrical conversation?
Well, the answer is this pretty remarkable tool called the electroencephalogram, or what most people just call an EEG. It's a completely safe, non-invasive way to record all that rhythmic electrical activity happening in your cerebral cortex, the brain's wrinkly outer layer. All we have to do is place some electrodes on the scalp, and suddenly we can listen in on the combined chatter of millions and millions of neurons all talking at once.
Okay, so recording all this activity is just step one. How do we actually make sense of all that electrical noise? Let's dive into how we can start decoding these brain waves. The best way to think about it is like tuning an old school radio. Your brain isn't just putting out one single signal, it's broadcasting on a bunch of different frequencies at the same time. And each of these frequencies, or brainwaves, tells us a totally different story about what your mind is up to at that moment. So our brain basically tunes into four main stations. First up, you've got beta waves. These are fast, buzzing along at 13 to 30 hertz. This is your brain right now. Alert, active, thinking. But if you were to relax and close your eyes, that rhythm would slow down into the alpha state. Go even slower and you get theta waves, which is your brain saying, hey, I'm getting kind of drowsy. And finally, the slowest of all are the delta waves, which take over during that deep, restorative, dreamless sleep.
And here's a fantastic example of just how dynamic this all is. It's something called the alpha block. So picture this, you're relaxed, your eyes are closed, and your EEG is showing this strong, steady alpha rhythm. But the very instant you open your eyes, bam, that alpha rhythm gets blocked. The EEG signal gets messier, less synchronized, and that faster beta rhythm takes over as your brain suddenly gets busy processing everything you're seeing. It's an immediate, amazing switch.
But you know where the EEG really becomes a powerful storyteller? It's when we go to sleep. It gives us this incredible detailed map of the journey our brain takes every single night.
So after you fall asleep, your brain doesn't just switch off, not even close. Over the next half hour to 45 minutes, it starts this carefully choreographed journey down through four distinct stages of what we call slow-wave sleep, all before it ever gets to the dream stage.
So in stage one, we see those chill alpha waves start to mix with even slower theta waves as you drift off. Then, in stage two, things get even slower, but the EEG is interrupted by these really fascinating bursts of activity. You get what are called sleep spindles and K complexes. And researchers think these little bursts might be super important for locking in memories and, making sure you stay asleep.
From there, we go deeper, down into stages 3 and 4, which is the land of deep, slow-wave sleep. At this point, the EEG is just dominated by these big, slow delta waves. This is when your body does most of its repair work, and it's when you're the most disconnected from the outside world. Seriously, it's incredibly hard to wake someone up from this stage.
But then, about every 90 minutes or so, something truly extraordinary happens. We enter REM sleep. All of a sudden, the EEG looks like we're wide awake again. It's fast, it's low voltage. That's why it's often called paradoxical sleep. It's a total paradox. Your brain is buzzing with activity, your eyes are darting back and forth behind your eyelids, and this is when you have your most vivid, memorable dreams. And yet, while all this is happening, your body's muscles are completely limp, almost paralyzed. It's a truly bizarre and fascinating state.
So this ability to map out normal brain function is amazing, but the EEG becomes an absolutely vital tool when the brain's rhythm breaks. I mean, it's used for everything from checking for brain damage to monitoring comatose patients, but its most famous role is for sure in understanding epilepsy. And when it comes to clinical uses, the EEG is without a doubt the single most important diagnostic tool for patients who have epilepsy. So why is it so crucial? Well, it's because the electrical signature of an epileptic event is just dramatically different from a normal brainwave. Instead of those smooth, predictable rhythms, an EEG during a seizure can show these abrupt, powerful electrical surges that look like sharp interactal spikes. It's just an unmistakable sign that something has misfired in the brain's circuitry.
And what's more, different types of seizures actually create their own unique signatures for neurologists to read. A petit mal seizure, for instance, shows this very characteristic spike and wave pattern. A grand mal seizure has these really distinct phases of intense activity. And for focal seizures, the EEG can even help doctors pinpoint the exact spot in the brain where the seizure is starting.
When you step back and look at the whole picture, the EEG provides nothing less than a direct, real-time window into the working mind.
I mean, think about it. From decoding the super intricate stages of our sleep to diagnosing really serious neurological conditions, the EEG translates that silent, incredibly complex electrical world inside our heads into a language that we can finally begin to understand.
You know, that electrical symphony is always playing. It's the constant soundtrack to our entire lives. And now that we have these powerful yet simple tools like the EEG that let us listen in, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other profound secrets about consciousness, about memory, about the very nature of who we are? What other secrets is that symphony just waiting to tell us?